Hey, everybody, come on in. Come on in. We back, y'all, for another round of discussions. Thank you guys so much for coming out and joining us and being a part of this. We're super excited to have you guys here tonight. So I want to introduce myself. My name is Chanel Blackmore. I'm the CEO of Wealthy Sisters Network. I also have with me Jacqueline Smith, who's the COO of Wealthy Sisters Network. We have Adon Thomas with us tonight and Aisha.
Yes.
Did I say it right?
Yes.
Because I want to be bougie with it. I want to say Asha. We have Asha here tonight. So, so what I want to do, like we do every night, is just go around and let everybody introduce themselves and then talk a little bit about what it is that they're going to be talking about for the masterclass. So let's start with Adon. Adon, you want to tell everybody who you are and what you're going to be.
Absolutely. My name is Adon Thomas. You can follow me on all social media at Credit Speaker. I like to talk about credit. I believe that credit is a way that you can leverage your finances. So, of course, I tell my audience that cash is king, but credit, she is definitely queen. And I want you I want to teach you all about the importance of having good credit. Basically, your credit matters. And I also want to teach you how you can get to the point where you can make your credit move for you throughout your life, such as buying a home, buying yourself a new vehicle, getting yourself in position so that you can go ahead and finance that business. And you're not worried about how am I going to go ahead and start up my business? Listen, many of us have great ideas on starting a business, but we don't know exactly what we need to do. So, of course, I'm going to bring you that information as well. But my key target, Chanel, is to focus on the women and getting you guys out of that situation of being in lack. We want to go ahead and get you to the point where you're moving in abundance. So that's what I'm going to be talking about.
Awesome sauce. Thank you, Adon. Hey, those of you that are signing in and logging on to watch us tonight, I want to say hey to Shalonda. Shalonda, thank you so much for coming every night that we promote. That is amazing. Thank you. Those of you that are watching, don't forget to share the video. D. Morris, hey, welcome. Sheila and Ray, hey, boo. You welcome, y'all. And Prophetess Regina. You tore it up last Monday. Yes, awesome. Thank you for watching. So listen, those of you that are out there that have not signed up for this masterclass, you need to go to that link, bit.ly/Money Masterclass 17. You do not want to miss these lessons. You don't want to miss these promotions. You don't want to miss any of this. If you know that your credit is not right, y'all need to be in these classes. Just stop being in denial. Let's just get real. This one thing that my grandma used to say, put your big girl drawers on. I know y'all thought reality TV made that up. No, it was my big mama. She said that. And I think they owe her some money. You're going to have to go on and grow up and let's face these issues, but you don't have to face them alone. Face them along with us. We all need help in one area or another. So don't feel bad about that, okay? So let's go to Aisha. Aisha, please introduce yourself to the people watching and tell them what you're going to be talking about during the masterclass.
Okay, hi, my name is Aisha Stearns, and I am a healthy money coach. And what I do, I help women and families get their money healthy, and so they can live a wealthy life. So my motto is healthy money, wealthy life. And so think of it like this, is that when you're sick, you either go to, Walmart, Walgreens, or whatever it may be, and you get some medicine over the counter. And then you realize that that doesn't work. And so you have to go to the doctor, or you have to go to a specialist to get specific diagnosis or a specific medication in order to make you well again. Well, that's what I do. I am your specialist. And so I help you get your money healthy, detox you from all the unhealthy things that is attached to your money so that you can live a wealthy life. Now, many people think that wealth is pertain to just money, and that's really not the definition, the fullness of the definition of it. It's to be wealthy in your whole well-being. You know, it's to be wealthy in not just in your finances, but in your body, in your mind, and in your soul. And so I help you get your money from being sick to being healthy. So that's that is by managing your money properly, putting you on a spending plan. I know people don't like the B word, which is budget. So we're going to use spending plan. And so I help people come up with a spending plan so they can get that home, so they can get that car, so they can go on vacation with no stress, you know, so they can save for college or get out of debt, you know, or whatever the case may be. This is what I do. I help women become wealthy. Oh, so what I'll be talking about, I'm sorry.
Oh, go ahead now, because I wrote down a whole bunch of questions, Sean.
So my specialty is my specialty is budgeting, and so I will be talking about how healthy a budget can I'm getting all tongue twisted. How a budget can be healthy in your life.
Okay, so what I heard you say is that you're the money doctor.
Basically,
that's what I heard.
Yeah. Basically, yeah.
My money's sick. She's got a temperature. Some of y'all out there, y'all money sick. You need some medicine. It's okay. The money doctor is here. Look, I don't know about y'all, but I'm gonna make sure, even if I wasn't facilitating these classes, I would make sure I was in the house the night that these two ladies speak. One is gonna help you clean up your credit, and the other one is gonna make your money well again. That's enough right there. That's $1,000 class. But these classes are free for you. They're free, y'all. bit.ly/Money Masterclass 17. I want to give a shout out to Mr. Greg Hayden. Hey, Mr. Hayden, thank you for watching. Hey, Monica. Monica, how you doing? Follow Sade, girl. We ready to see you come back on here again. Inbox us, because I would love to have you on Saturday. You too, Dr. Regina, inbox us. You guys, man, last time we were all together, that was phenomenal. I know that we had talked about picking up on talking a little bit about legacy, but before we get to that, Miss Jacqueline, tell everybody what you do and what you're going to be talking about during the masterclass.
Good evening, Jacqueline J. Smith here, your insurance lady from LSW Family Insurance. We are going to be talking about protecting your family against we all have to go that way. People don't like to talk about it, but we're going to talk about it because it's necessary to talk about. And not only that, but also preparing you for retirement. If you own your own business, most likely you are looking at some point to no longer have to work every day. So we discuss those issues as well and set you on a plan so that you are able to retire in your particular time frame. And just a bit of information, keep in mind that retirement is not an age. Retirement is a number. So definitely be talking about those issues as well. And before I go, again, thank you so very much for joining this evening. But before I go, I do want to welcome some new members into Wealthy Sisters Network that will be joining us for the Money Masterclass. And also we'll have access to all of the replays. We'll have access to the blogs and all of the wealth of information that our professionals will be bringing to us over the course of these next several months and years. So we'd like to welcome Leah Ware and Sherry Sigmund to Wealthy Sisters Network. Welcome, ladies. We'll love to have you. Thank you so very much for joining, and we look forward to working with you. Back to you, Chanel.
Welcome, ladies. Yes, this is what this is all about. Y'all, listen. Y'all need to tag a friend, tag your sisters, tag everybody, let them know what we're doing. This is so important. I don't know any other organization that is giving away this kind of information for free. Look, we are passionate about helping women. We are passionate about our money. Our money matters, and we need to scream that to the top of our lungs. Put it in the chat. Put it in the comments. Say, my money matters. That's important. It does matter. Hey, I want to say hello to my nephew, Willie B. Moore. Hey, thank you for watching, sir. Dexter, what's up, boo? Dexter watching all the way from Houston. Thank you for watching. Somebody else popped in here I wanted to say hey to. Who was that? Well, if I didn't call your name, thank you so much. It doesn't diminish the fact that you're here. Thank you. Share the video. Remember, sign up for these free classes, bit.ly/Money Masterclass 17. So tonight, listen, I'm so excited about the lineup that we have, because I think that everyone represented here has a lot of advice to give that can share some insight when it comes to women in financial matters. And I think that the biggest thing I want to talk about tonight is legacy. When we ended up on Monday, we were talking about how we're supposed to leave an inheritance for our children. And that's a command from the Bible, that we are, if a good man leaves an inheritance for his children. And I can only say that just thinking about my family members, and when there's a death, sometimes there's not even a will. There's not a will. There's lots of bills, lots of expenses, but nothing tangible for the children to keep, nothing that they can use to make, a life in this world. And I don't think that it's because of the lack or the ability to do it. I just think that the knowledge wasn't there. So what I want to talk about tonight is how can we start helping women to get a mindset towards legacy? What would that look like? Dawn, can you share a little bit about that, about women and legacy, and how we can kind of help with that mindset of saving and putting something away for our children?
Absolutely. Ladies, we've really got to take our position as who we are in our homes and make sure that we're not just nurturing our children, not just loving on our kids, but actually doing the work in regards to making sure we're setting up our family so that we are able to leave them with a legacy. Chanel, often I tell the story about the time when I was in church and I met a woman. She was an older woman, about 60, 62 years old. And I started to talk with her and she said, would you pray with me? And I said, oh, sure. And I'm thinking, me being younger, but you want me to pray with you. I should be asking you for wisdom. And she said, I really want to leave a legacy for my grandchildren. And I began to talk with her, and of course I began to pray with her. And then she brought up some things that I said in prayer. And she said, the most important thing that you said was how important it is to be able for my children, my grandchildren, to be able to see that I'm able to leave them with something. Leave them with something. So a lot of times when I'm talking with women, I always tell them, what are you leaving? And they begin to say, what do you mean? And of course I say, no, seriously. What are you leaving? Are they just going to remember, oh, mama yelled in the house, she fussed at me, she told me to always pick up my shoes. What are you leaving? And they said, well, you know what, Don, I really don't have anything to leave. And then I break it down to them so small. I said, if you just begin to talk to your children about finances, just begin to talk to your children about the mistakes that you made. You just begin to talk to your children about how you can take your life further than mine, you will begin to leave a legacy. I often recall that my children always say, Mom, I got to have a great credit score. I say, yes, baby, you have to have a great credit score. Then I also think about the time when I speak to women and they say, I don't have nothing to leave. And I said, but if you get a home and if you don't do nothing but tell your babies, no matter what, you are going to keep this home. This is an investment, and you begin to break that down to them. It will really help. Right now, my children know that the home that we live in, paid for, they know that they are not to sell that home. I mean, I really literally think that they probably are thinking Mom's going to roll over in her grave, God forbid. But when that day come, right, Jackie, when that day come, Mom is going to say, don't sell that home. Why? Because you need to make sure you're leaving something for your children. You need to make sure that if something happened, they have a homestead to go back to. See, those are the principles that Big Mama taught us. And those are the things that we're going to have to get back to, especially in this day and age. Now, you can do so many things once you have a home. So I tell women, focus on something that's reachable, right? And then focus on your future. Focus on your future and get yourself to the point that you're thinking, I can do this. I can leave a home to my children. I might not have $1 million, to leave them, but if I leave them with a home, they got a foundation to build on. So those are the things that I like to think about when it comes to legacy.
That was powerful, because I think many of us as women, when we think about leaving an inheritance or a legacy, we think about, oh, I want to leave them my unicorn collection, or I want to leave them my china. We never think about, buying a home or buying property and leaving that. That was a mouthful. And I'm gonna circle back around to that a little bit later. Aisha, can you tell us, share a little bit of your insight? How can we, in dealing with the mindset in women?
Yes. So when I think of legacy, I think of a person's last name. So when you're gone, off this earth, and you go to, your home, wherever that may be. But I think of how did you act, up on this earth? Not so much as only as what we're leaving, but as far as, our character, about, so when I think of Stearns, when I think of Blackmore, when I think of Smith, when I think of Thomas, when I hear that last name, what type of legacy did we leave up on this earth that will trickle down on to our children and our children's children? So say for instance, Miss Blackmore, I know we're talking about money, and I guess, I don't know if I'm going a different route or turn the corner, but say for instance, Miss Blackmore, you leave a legacy of love. You're known for love. And so that love trickles down onto your children and your children's children, because that is the legacy that you left. Now let's go back to money. And the mindset, because I remember you talking about the mindset. So legacy, I believe that when we go back to our childhood, is that we were really never taught, what legacy was really all about. And it's not, we're not going to put the blame on the parents or anything, because they might not have known, they might, their mother and father probably have not taught them properly about legacy. So there has to be a shifting in the mindset, that we have to go back and say, okay, what lie do we believe? Who told us the lie? You get what I'm saying? And then when we go, and then, so let's write it down. Okay, what was the lie? Let's write it down and make it plain. And then we go and say, okay, now what is the truth? And we're going to combat that lie. We're going to attack that lie with the truth. And then we're going to declare it in the atmosphere and say, okay, this is the truth. This is what God says. I'm going to continue to declare it in the atmosphere. And when we see it being declared in the atmosphere, it will, can I say automatically? It will automatically shift our mindset. And then we will see the manifestation of the truth being fulfilled on earth.
Girl, look, I almost jumped up out the seat. You better say that. Come through, Aisha. Yes, absolutely. I love everything about what you said. I got so many notes right there. And look, anytime that something comes up to you and you want to share it, look, share that thing. That was good. I particularly like what you said about that our parents didn't understand legacy, so they couldn't teach us legacy. So having that in mind, Jacqueline, how can we begin to model that for our children to set them up, set their mindsets up for legacy and generational wealth? Because you can't take a mindset that's already firm and that's already set, so to speak, and then try to mold it later. It's a little bit harder. So talk a little bit about that. How can we start as women, start setting that example to introduce legacy to our children and duplicate that generationally?
Absolutely. And there was something else that Aisha said about, identifying the lie. and writing it down and making it plain. And it kind of goes back to something else that we were talking about on Monday too, in terms of expanding your mind. So you have to not be so closed-minded that you just continue to believe the lie and you continue to perpetuate the lie. At some point, you have to recognize the lie for what it is and move forward from there, and have it be open-minded enough to, especially when you receive the knowledge and information and education related to the lie, to recognize it for what it is in order to be able to move forward. And I think that's really key in terms of folks, just believing whatever it is they hear, not checking it out, not getting the proper information or education. And that's what actually perpetuates it. So you hear something or someone tells you something, you believe that, so you keep passing that information down, even though it's completely off the wall and incorrect. So I think the mind shift comes in terms of making sure that you have the appropriate education and information and passing that information on.
That's awesome. That's an awesome thing too. So those of you that are watching, listen, what are some lies that you heard about legacy? What are some of those lies? Let's identify some lies right now tonight. Adon, can you give us one of the lies that people have duplicated and perpetrated throughout the generations about wealth and legacy?
That is evil. So many times I talk to women and any of our men, let's just be honest about it, especially for those of us that are in the Christian background. They always say, oh, I don't need any money. And I'm like, why don't you need money? Because the last time I thought about it, it takes money to move in this world. I mean, I got to pay money to buy some water nowadays, right, ladies? I got to have money to buy food to eat. I got to have money to clothe myself. So where did we believe all of a sudden that money is evil? It's not evil. If I can just break people from actually saying that, then getting those words out of their mouth, then that will do one thing for me. That will get them to stop speaking the negativity over their life. When you say that money is evil, that means when you see money on the floor, you don't even want to grab it, right? When I teach our children, we teach our children, you see a penny on the ground, you pick it up and you put it into your savings, into your piggy bank, right? So just these little things, the way you look at things, is the glass half empty, is it half full? When it comes to money, you have to have your hands open. That's why I tell people you cannot believe the lie that money is evil. If you're going to walk around saying that money is evil, you're going to always have a closed fist. And guess what? That money is not going to be able to come in there. So if I always tell my women, I say, when I'm talking with you, just pick up on a little bit of tidbits that I tell you and make sure if you're saying that money is evil, no, it's the love of money that is causing the evil. That is what's causing the evil. When you are able to allow money to flow freely and your hands are open, you will stop saying money is evil. Let me tell you, it even goes a step further. If you walk around in life with your hands open, guess what? You're going to be able to receive that money that's falling into your hands. Grab it, put it in your pocketbook, ladies, and then open it up again to get some more money. So one big thing that I want everybody to stop doing is saying money is evil. There's nothing evil about money. It's you that can make it evil. It's the love that you see over it. It's the idolatry when you begin to view it as an idol that becomes evil. Who wants to do that? I mean, none of us want to do that, right? But that is where that concept comes from. Is when you begin to look at money as an idol. That's when it's evil. It's not evil when you're not loving it, right? So you have to get yourself to that point. So I tell all my women that I meet, I want you to get a whole new mindset when it comes to your money, when it comes to your credit. You just got to tear down some barriers. So Chanel, that's my number one thing that I would love everyone to break down and stop doing it too.
That's what's up. Hey guys, that was one of the lies that we tell ourselves, that money is evil. What's another thing, guys? Put it in the comments on Facebook. If you're joining us on Facebook Live, one of the things I've always heard was, it don't take all that. All I need is my little house and my little car. It doesn't matter that, the bottom of the car rotting out so you can see the street when you drive and you just put a cardboard over there. Be grateful for what you have. Yes, I agree. We should be grateful for everything that we have. But man, if we are the children of God, shouldn't our lives reflect the kingdom? That's all I'm saying. Asha, come on, tell us. I'm sorry, I'm going to keep calling you Asha. Aisha, tell us a little bit about some lies that you heard growing up as it pertains to money and legacy.
Okay, so let me see. You cannot have your cake and eat it too.
Wow.
Where did that come from? Like, seriously, where did that come from? And I believe it came from a poor person, poor in their mindset, that you can't have your cake and eat it too. I'm going to paraphrase the scripture in the Bible. It says, "Beloved, I wish above all things that you prosper and be in good health." You know, so to me, the way I interpret that is that I can have my cake and eat it too. So here we go again, is that being prosperous is not all about money. Being prosperous in your health, being prosperous in your body, your mindset, in everything. We have to understand, not only, if we prosper in our mind, that's going to equal to us being prosperous in our body. And when we be prosperous in our body, that's going to allow us to prosper in our money. Because if we have a healthy body, that cuts down on going to the doctor, that cuts down on medication. I mean, you're healthy. You're not eating so much of junk food. The only time you do is eat, cheat day. Everybody has a cheat day. And then, so if you have a healthy mindset, if you have a healthy body, along with some healthy money, you're going to live a wealthy life. And that's having your cake and eating it too. So you can have your cake and eat it too.
Y'all need to tweet that. You can have your cake and eat it too. I never understood that either. So what, you just get the cake and just look at it? What does that mean, really? I love what you said right there when you talked about how if you have a healthy body, your finances will become healthy. And then if you have healthy finances, your body can become healthy. Because if you have money, you can eat right. You can pay for organic foods. You can eat the things that you know you need to eat. And that's just being real. It's a lot cheaper to eat bad than it is to eat healthy. Or so that's the mindset that's out there. So I just can't wait to hear more about how you tie into that analogy of, your healthy money, healthy body, healthy mind. I love that. Sis, that's a book. If you haven't written that, you need to write that. So, okay. So we've talked a lot about the lies.
Sorry. I got a lie.
Oh, come on, Jack.
I got a lie. The 40-40-40 plan is a lie. 40 hours for 40 years to live off of 40% of your pay. That's a lie. You need to get something else, even if it's on the side, because the Bible does say, render unto Caesar what is Caesar's and render unto God what is God's. So if you need a job right now so that you can render unto Caesar what is Caesar's, praise God, go for it. Amen. But the Bible also says the cattle on 1,000 hills are all yours to claim. And you can't claim the cattle on 1,000 hills working for somebody else. Just saying. I'm just saying. So therefore, that's the lie. The 40-40-40 plan is a lie. Bold-faced lie.
I need you to break that 40-40 down again. Now, Scott, explain that to us. What is that for those of us that may not know? 40-40-40. Break that down for us. What is that?
Working 40 hours a week for 40 years to end up with 40% of your pay when you leave. If that, even.
That is powerful. I know y'all heard that. And some of us, we work more than 40 hours. Some of y'all, we work in 60 and 70 hours. And I want to tie this back to what Aisha said. How can you have a healthy mindset and a healthy body if you are working over 50 hours a week at a job that is not going to return any loyalty to you? I mean, that's another lie, that you can retire from a job in this climate. Let's just be real. That's not happening. These jobs, y'all, Gone are the days when Big Papa and Big Mama used to get that 40-year retirement package. Am I old? Am I telling my age right now? They give you that nice gold watch, or they'll give you a coin in a box with that big 40 on there, and then that's all you get. You don't get no pension. You don't get anything. Y'all, their jobs, companies are now taking away the merit raises so the employees don't get raises. They're taking away bonuses. They're taking away succession ladders. Women, listen, let me tell y'all something. It's more to life than going to work at a job, being sick, you're tired, you don't have time for your children. I can remember, y'all, when I was climbing the corporate ladder, y'all, I would be so tired. I would leave home, it would be dark. I would get home and it's dark. My babies would run up to me and I'd be like, can y'all just give me 5 minutes? That's not fair to them. You know, they didn't ask to be here. They haven't seen me all day. All they want to do is love on their mama. And when you get to the point where you don't have any love to give back to your kids because you didn't gave it all at the office, I already gave at the office, that don't pertain to our children, y'all. Come on, we got to do better. That's why what we're talking about with these money masterclasses, you're going to be able to put a plan on paper. If you need to put a plan on paper to quit your job, Danielle Winningham will be here to talk to you about that. If you will know that your credit is bad and you're living in an apartment right now and you desire a home for your child, if you want to have a backyard for your babies, hey, we got some credit specialists that'll be here talking to you. We got Aisha here who can help you with a budget. Everything you need is in the community. That is what's so beautiful about Wealthy Sisters Network. Everything you need, we got it. And I'm not bragging, I'm just telling you the truth. All right. You need to go to bit.ly/Money Masterclass 17. You need to connect with us. You need to be a part of this because I guarantee you, those of you that are going to sign up and be a part of this class, your life will change significantly. I believe that people are going to be sending us emails talking about how Adon helped them turn their credit scores around and how Aisha helped them with their budget. And Jacqueline going to help them get an annuity that they can retire with. There's so much that we don't know. And you just can't help it. You don't know what you don't know. But if you open your mouth and ask and connect and make the right connections, your life could be so different in 2018. It really can. Your life can do a total, is it 180? Is that it? Okay, because I know 360 is the whole thing. Because we used to say a total 360. I was like, that can't be right. Now, I'm not a geometry whiz, but that can't be right. But anyway, so let's go back to talking about this money. And I want y'all to go ahead and go to that link and sign up, okay? So watch this. If we're talking about legacy and generational wealth, if we're talking about how we can impact the mentality of our sisters so that they can start thinking wealth and budgeting. Aisha, I want to ask you, so when we're talking about healthy money, how can you tell if your money is sick? What are some indications that you got your money is sick?
Okay. How can you tell that your money is sick is when you don't have any money left over to save. That means that your money is sick. Another way that you can tell how your money's sick is you're not having I'm gonna say cushion fund. You know, you have no cushion. Like say for instance, you know, the hurricane that hit Harvey, there are a lot of people that didn't have no cushion. You get what I'm saying? And so thank God for government assistance and everything, but what if you had cushion enough that can help you through the storm? You get what I'm saying? And so unfortunately, you know, some people didn't have flood insurance. You know, the reservoirs were released and it hit the, Katy district. And, Katy really doesn't flood out here, And so most of the people don't have flood insurance. I remember when I bought my home and they said it wasn't required to have flood insurance because it does not flood out here. But if it so happens to flood, then we will be required to have flood insurance. Well, guess what? I'm pretty sure people said, you know what? You say I don't need any flood insurance. I'm not going to get any flood insurance. That's going to save me money. And so now we have people impacted, in this world, just not Katy, just not Texas, but in Florida and everywhere else, where they might not have flood insurance and they did not have cushion. And so it is important for us to have that cushion. We have to have that cushion fund, ladies, because anything can happen. We have to be prepared. And this is what, I hope I answered your question. If this is what a spending plan helps you do. If you don't have a spending plan in place and something happens, now you have to rely on someone else. Did I answer your question? I'm sorry.
Yes, you did. Yes, you did. That was good. That was good. And listen, ladies, the cushion is not your Jimmy Choo fund. That is not a cushion. Exactly. That's not what that is for. I think that a lot of times when we think about our paychecks, and I just know from when I was a young woman, how if I had $100 left out of my check, I was like, oh, this is me money right here. And I'm gonna go get my hair did, my nails did, everything did. And I want to spend some money on myself. And I think that that's the mentality that's been handed down to me is, okay, you got some extra money, girl, you work hard, go ahead, turn up, do what you need to do. And then, where you get another check is that lie right there. You'll get another check. And that's the biggest lie that holds us back from savings is that next check. And just like people say, oh, tomorrow not promised, they'll quote that in a minute. Your next check is not promised to you. That job does not have to keep you employed, especially if you live in Texas. Texas is an employee at will state. That means you can go to work tomorrow and they can say, you know what? We don't need you no more. What you gonna do then? You already got all these Jimmy Choo shoes, but you don't even have money for your bills next month. That's how serious this is about your money. You need to understand that. So I want to go to Adon right quick. Adon, how can we tell that our credit needs to be repaired? What are some of the telltale signs that, and what Aisha says, our credit is set? What's the standard? I mean, if I've never even known about credit, how do I diagnose that I have a problem?
Well, when it comes to credit, there are some telltale signs that you need help. 911, your situation, there's some warning signs that goes off, ladies. You see red light, yellow light, green light go, it applies to your credit as well. So many times when I tell my clients, I say, pull your credit reports. They say, I haven't pulled my credit report in about a year, 2 years. I said, no, you need to pull your credit report. They say, well, I don't know if I'm going to do that. I said, listen, if you want me to repair your credit, you have to pull your reports. It's like pulling teeth when I ask people to pull their credit reports. Why? They don't want to acknowledge their past. And I always tell them, no matter what happens, it happens. But there are some signs, there's some warning signs that you get. The number one sign I always see on a credit report is that when you begin to make the wrong decision and go down that wrong road, let me tell you, some lights go off. They go from having green lights on your credit report to yellow and then to red. So you got to know what those signs are. Now, a lot of people say, well, I haven't looked at my credit report. Well, let me tell you. Number one, if you've been denied a credit card, you have bad credit. If your electricity is in someone else's name, man name, little man name, your mama name, when that occurs, you have bad credit. When debt collectors are calling you and you won't even answer your phone unless you know the number, you have bad credit. You mean They say, Adon, you mean if I have all this going on, I have bad credit? I say, yes, you do. Listen, if you cannot find anyone to co-sign for you, you've exhausted all your avenues and you have bad credit. Your credit report is keeping you from getting a job. You have bad credit. If a landlord will not rent to you, you know what I mean, right? Not first chance, but second chance apartments, you have bad credit. When you're afraid to check your own credit report, when your credit score is so low, you don't even want to acknowledge the number, you have bad credit. When your interest rates keep going up, when card issuers are closing your credit card, you have bad credit. I meet so many women and they say, I got a card. I said, oh, you do? They say, yeah, I got this card, went to Walmart and I've been using my card, but I was late one payment. And now all of a sudden, Adon, my limit is $200. You got bad credit. You got to get yourself to the point that you go past these, what I call the help me cards, right? These secure cards and these little, oh, you're a middle-class American. Let me give you the Walmart card. You have to get past that position. People come to me and they say, well, where should I get my credit score? I say, we need to be in them 700s. I tell them all the time, FICO high achievers are 750 or higher. They say, oh, Adon, that's so high. I said, no, because when you're in my program, I teach you to reach for 800. They say, how am I going to come from 800 when I'm in 500? I tell them, you have to take the time to take these boundaries off of yourself. Quit listening to your friends. Quit socializing with people with bad credit and start connecting. Because the number one thing that I always see, bad credit people, they really do flock together. They really do stay together. They really do rely on each other to be co-signers, you all. You got to get yourself out of that situation. So those are my number one telltale signs when you have bad credit.
Y'all don't feel bad out there. I for a minute there, I thought that music was gonna start playing in the background. Beans, greens, tomatoes, potatoes. I was like, good God Almighty.
That's what happens when it becomes a habit, you all. When it becomes a habit, and for me, Chanel, I'm so passionate about women. I'm like specifically passionate about women, my male clients, because I do have male clients. And my male clients, they say, do you ever give any help for the men? I said, I'm trying to break some things with these women, because when it comes down to it, Chanel, so many women, after we exhaust our own credit and we get bad credit, who do we turn to first? Our man. We turn to our men and we start using their credit. And listen, if you have a habit of having bad credit, you're going to mess up his credit too. I can always see it, especially when I'm looking at a man's report and I'm like, oh, you were in a relationship at this time, then you left out of that relationship. Listen, ladies, we got to get ourselves to the point that we break these habits. I don't want none of you guys to get denied. I want you to see approve, approve, approve. You got to get yourself to the point that you manage your credit. You really do.
That's a good point you bring up about about using our man's credit. When we're getting married, I bet we don't have conversations like, hey, we say stuff like, well, do you have any baby mamas? Have you been married before? Is there mental illness in your family? But we never say, do you have good credit? We never ask those questions. We don't have those conversations before we enter into a relationship. We don't talk about, what their budgeting skills are like. We don't have those conversations when we enter into a relationship because, we're in love. We don't have, those kind of issues. So what are some steps that couples can take, those that are dating? What are some steps they can take to have those conversations about credit, to have those conversations about budgeting and spending? Because listen, you can have a very disciplined person and they marry someone who's undisciplined, and then what happens? Aisha, can you talk about that?
It's funny that you say that because that is my current situation. I'll be transparent. It doesn't bother me. It's, I'm the person, in the marriage to where, I'm very disciplined, I'm very, can I say strict? I was gonna say anal, but strict, about my money, like that's just how I am. And my husband, he's like the total opposite. He likes to spend money. He's not good at paying bills. I mean, he just like really the total opposite of me. But guess what? We never had that conversation. Premarital counseling. We never had that conversation. It was like, okay, like you said, how many baby mamas you got? How many sex partners you had? Just to be honest. Like seriously. And so, what I've done in my personal marriage is that I had to really sit down with him and I had to not treat him as a client because he'll get offended by that. But I had to say, okay, Damon, let's sit down and let's come together. Let me show you the pros and the cons of our actions when it comes to money, talking about the credit, talking about the spending plan, and everything else. I had to really just sit down, watch my tone, how us ladies, have that certain tone, and we want to be like, do, you're my child, So, basically to be quite honest, I just really had to talk to the Holy Ghost. And I had to say, okay, how do you want me to come at him so that I can win him on this? Because we're two totally opposite people when it really comes to money. So when I got information, from him, he says, okay, do this, whatever he said, I really can't remember. And so I've learned that it's all about the way, if you're in this type of relationship, women, it's all about the way you come at him, or it's all about the way you come at her, because it could be the man who's on the good side and the woman on the bad side, so, watch the way you come at them, watch your tone, and sometimes they don't get it off right away, but continue to practice and be a good support. Continue to have, continue to be a good example, and I've learned that when he saw it, like really, really, really saw it and really appreciated me as far as being good at money, because you could have a woman, who's not good at money, who's just spending them credit cards, who's taking checks and everything. So when they learn to appreciate that, then they'll say, you know what? I'm gonna start saving. You know what? And they take the information like they got it all by themselves. No, you didn't. I'm the one who told you. Like seriously. I'm the one who told you. Like seriously. So I let them have it. I'd be like, you know what? That is just such an awesome idea. Yes. Kudos to you. So I hope I answered your question.
That was good. That was good. She's like, look, women, we are masters at that, coming up with an idea, and then our husbands be like, man, that was my idea. Be like, yeah, baby, you did good, honey. You so smart. Jacqueline, go ahead and you weigh in on that topic as well. I'm gonna hear what you got.
Oh, absolutely. The communication is key throughout it all. And actually, Rita mentioned something here over on Facebook, and as far as watching the behavior, even while you're dating. So, how does he spend money when you all go, if you are dating, how does he spend money when you all are going out? Or, how does he spend money when you all are going shopping, or, going traveling, or, just things like that. If are you cooking in or eating in most of the time? Are you going out to eat most of the time? Does he cook for you, or does he at least have food in his refrigerator so you all can cook together? does something. But just so you can pick up on something. It real and I apologize. Yeah, I'm getting ready to go off on the deep end, but it really kills me, sometimes on these television shows where these women come and say, I had no idea. It's like, really? It's like, really, there's signs. I'm sorry, there's signs for almost everything. I mean, even if it's just a little something, and if it goes in the back of your head, or if it's not sitting quite right with you, you need to address it. You need to bring it up. You need to get it out in the open now. If you're going to sit there and lie to you, that's a completely different story, and you need to address that in another manner. But I'm just saying, you need to have those conversations, and you need to be open and honest about those conversations as well. But, definitely watch those signs.
Yeah, well, I probably was on the bad side. And it wasn't because I spent a lot, it wasn't because of that. It was that I was afraid to spend, because I had lived in poverty for so long that I would be afraid to buy anything. Like if I bought myself something, I would take the kids and we go buy, whatever, some clothes for the summer. And if I put a pair of shoes in the basket, I'm like, I'm going to get these shoes. By the time I get to the register, I'm like, I'm not getting these shoes. I'm going to put this back. And I was that person for a long time. And until I had one of my good friends, y'all, I was so ashamed. We were out shopping together. She was younger than me. And, we were just out hanging out. That's when I was still trying to be, relevant. I'm hanging out with the girls and whatnot. And I remember we went shopping at this particular store. And she, said, oh, well, these would be cute pair of skinny jeans. I was like, oh, okay, they're cute. The jeans were $80. And so immediately I was like, this girl must be crazy. Ain't no way in the world I'm spending no $80 on those. Does she know I have 3 kids? I have a car note. I cannot spend $80 on a pair of jeans. I can only wear them one time a day. I'm not gonna do it. I'm gonna sleep in these jeans if I get them. And so I'm going through this whole scenario in my head. And she just told me, she said, you make too much money to dress the way you do. I was like, oh no, she didn't. No, this still I had the head pat, I was ready, but then she was right. Everybody else is taken care of. Kids look cute. They got on the newest and the latest. And I'm wearing my Goodwill clothes, and I know that I'm not the only woman that's ever experienced that. How do we cultivate the mentality of women so that they can put themselves first? And how do they do that responsibly? Dawn, you want to talk about that?
Chanel, you're exactly right. I can definitely relate to the exact words you said. After I came out of my marriage, because I'm about to go to be, I'm a second timer, right? I'm going to try it one more time, ladies. You too? Okay. So after I came out of that first marriage, and I was like, oh, no, I'm going to save all my money. I'm not just going to live on cash. I'm going to, make sure I'm able to provide for my children. You're absolutely right. We go to that point where we just scale everything back. And then even after we reset, even after we recovered, all we know to do is to make sure we scale back as far as we possibly can, because our children are at the front of our minds. And lady, I tell you guys, we got to get ourselves to the point that we can put it on paper and see what we have. Because I can tell you, honestly, I know a lot of women, and the reason why they're not able to say, oh, I can spend this or I can spend that, is because they still got it in their head that they're in survival mode. They still got it in their head that they have to keep themselves at this position, even though they know they made more, but they're saying, what if this happens? Well, go ahead and set up an emergency fund. Go ahead and get your credit right so that when an emergency occurs, you have credit to fall back on. Go ahead and make these changes. And that's what we have to do. And I'm being honest with you, Chanel, in regards to the relationship aspect of it, one of my clients, she always says, ladies, go contact Dawn, get your credit right, because your future husband does not want to deal with it. So I always think about it. 39% of men, the second time around now, 39% of men will not, they do not want to marry a woman with bad credit. And guess what, ladies? We got to up our standards because only 30% of us are willing to say that. Only 30% of women are willing to say they will not marry someone with bad credit. So if men are able to go ahead and operate and move and say, oh, you got bad credit, I don't want to deal with you, you got to fix some things, right? We got to do the same thing. And the other thing about it is that we got to make sure we're putting ourselves first in the aspect of making sure that our needs are being met. If our needs are not being met, we are not able to maneuver in this world, in the game of life, to help ourselves or our children. That's why I tell women, no, put that income on paper. See what you have. Do exactly what Aisha said. Make sure you're following a budget. Make sure you have some life insurance like Jacqueline preaches. You got to make sure we're taking care of ourselves. We got to make sure that our money matters. If not, we're going to be stuck and we're going to be looking like we're shopping from the Goodwill. Am I right? If we keep on putting ourselves back and not taking care of our needs, we are not going to be able to do the things that we should be doing.
That's so good. That is so good because I don't know about you. Yeah, this is my second marriage. The first time I was married for like 11 years. And then, you know, Mr. Ray came and was like, we're going to get married. I was like, okay. We didn't have a credit talk either. I had told the Lord, I don't know if you did this or Dawn. I told the Lord, I said, Lord, I want this man to love you. He needs to be saved. I need this man to, I've got 3 kids. I need him to love these kids like they were his. And I need him to be a millionaire. That's what I need. I need that last one. I need him to be rich. And so, you know, Mr. Ray is rich in a lot of things, but he ain't no millionaire. But, you know, that's what I had said. I married for love the first time. All right. So let's talk about this a little bit more, Aisha. How do we cultivate that mentality of putting ourselves first and our sisters? How do we help them see why it's important to put themselves first and that their money matters? But before you do, guys, go to bit.ly/Money Masterclass 17. If you are enjoying all of this conversation, if you're enjoying these little nuggets, can you imagine when these ladies get on this platform to teach? Come on, you don't want to miss it. bit.ly/Money Masterclass 17. Come on, Miss Aisha, speak on this.
Okay. I'm a firm believer of treating myself, like firm believer. And I tell my clients, have a allowance. And so when you have that personal allowance, it allows you to spend money on yourself so you won't feel guilty, so that you can stay on track of your spending plan. It's important for us women to treat ourselves, you know, in a healthy way, in a healthy spending way, because, and I will use myself as an example. I used to be a type of person where I didn't believe in treating myself. You know, it was like pay bills. You know, at the time I had more bills than money. Take care of my child. She gets everything, you know, and then if my husband was ever left over, unfortunately, you know, he gets it too. So I didn't take care of myself, you know. And so one day, that's when the mind shift came, ladies. So one day I had a mind shift, and I said, no longer will I live like this, because I was miserable at the time. I was depressed at the time, you know, and a lot of things, you know, factor into that mood. But when I made up in my mind that I'm going to take care of myself too, and that I'm going to give myself a monthly allowance to take care of myself. So if I want to go get a massage, I go get a massage. If I want to go get my feet done, if I want to go out to eat by myself, if I want to go to the movies by myself, that's just what I'm going to do. Because my happiness and my joy is important. And if I can't take care of myself, I can't take care of my family. If you know, if I'm depressed, the only thing that I can give you is depression. But if I'm full of joy and overleaping with joy, with the abundance of joy, guess overflowing, that's the word I want to use. If I'm overflowing with joy, guess what I'm going to give you? I can give you joy. So, ladies, take care of yourself.
That was so powerful. Oh my gosh, I never thought of it that way. If I put myself first, that sets the tone for the atmosphere in my family. And you know, sometimes y'all, ladies, I'm just gonna tell you, sometimes your children just tired of you being the sacrificial lamb in the house. Lord, I'm so tired. I done worked all day. Lord, I done spent all the money I had on you. And you know what that does? That sets up in your children's mindset, we don't have enough money. There's never enough time, you know? And so we have to be so careful not to do that to our children. We do. I mean, Aisha, I swear that was so good. Just understanding that something as small as budgeting to get your feet done, and nobody's telling you to take your cable bill money and go get your feet done. That is not what we are talking about. But when you take that time to build out of your budget some me money, I like that. Some me money. I could use some me money right now. I hope Mr. Ray watching. I need some me money. So, okay, so I know that we're coming up on the end of our time together, but I do want to say this one last thing. How is it in a relationship when, you know, we decide that we're going to enter into a relationship, whether, you know, we have checked our credit or not, whether we're on a budget or not? What about these people that have already gotten married, that who has one side or the other has not taken care of their finances, and their mindset about money is totally different? Kind of like what you were talking about, Aisha, but you know, they didn't do it before they got married, but now that they are married, they have these kind of issues. Miss Jacqueline, we want you to weigh in on that.
Well, if they're in two separate places, personally, I just believe maybe they need to get some counseling, because if you're in a particular place and that's where you're used to being, and you don't either have the knowledge, education, you're not expanding your mind, maybe a third party can assist you in breaking through that particular blockage that you have with that particular area, to assist you in moving on. Because one of the things, I believe anyway, one of the things that you don't want is you don't want your whole relationship to be about money or the lack thereof, or who's spending, who's not spending, how they're spending, what they're spending it on, etc. You need to come to a healthy place, just like Aisha was saying. You need to be healthy in your money as in a relationship as well. So you need to be able to get to that place. And if you're not able to do it together, you may need to bring in a third party to assist you in that area.
Y'all, my uncle used to say, romance without finance is a nuisance. Because most of these marriages, y'all, my uncle was a poet. Most of these marriages that are shaky with finances, and it's true, you don't have energy to love each other because you're so focused on the lack in your household. You're so focused on, okay, so how many times you gonna eat out of Jack in the Box? Well, how many times you gonna eat Burger King? Well, it's my money. You know, it's so much that goes into that. Dawn, what are your thoughts?
Well, Chanel, I'm kind of like you. I grew up with an aunt, and she would oftentimes sing a song, and she would say, you know, ain't nothing going on but the rent. And as a kid, I was like just jamming to this song. But I tell you what, when I hit my 20s, I realized she was talking to my uncle. She was saying, ain't nothing going on in here but making sure this rent is being paid. So I tell you, you got to go back to these principles, ladies. Listen, everybody that I ever dated, even my past husband that has gone to the Lord now, he would tell you, you got to make sure those bills are paid in that house. Because if bills are not paid in my house, oh, I'm looking at you funny. I'm going to start seeing it ain't nothing going on but the rent. So I tell people, you got to sit down and have a conversation. You got to say, look, hey, baby, you know how to stroke those egos. Hey, honey, cook that good dinner. Put on that nice outfit, negligee, whatever you have to do. But you sit down and you have a conversation at the right time. And you don't say, we need to talk. No, did you hear me say we need to talk? No, you don't say we need to talk. I told you, go cook a good meal, especially if you haven't cooked a good meal in a while. Go cook a good meal. Put a little lipstick on and say, oh, baby, it's just a good day. You know what? I've been seeing these nice things that I want. And, you know, we're going to have to do some things just a little bit different. Do you think we should cut back in this area? Do what Aisha said. Put it on him. Let him think that he had the idea. Ladies, it worked. But the most important thing you have to remember, you got to be willing to have that conversation. You got to be willing to say, all right, I need to go ahead and talk about this, because the number one reason that marriages fails is finance, lack of money. The number one reason is because of the money. The second reason, communication. So why don't you just go ahead and do both of them and get them out the way and start talking about your money. You got to do it. And be honest with you, once you lay out that beautiful plan about how nice life would be, that white picket fence that you can go ahead and get, that nice Tahoe that you can go ahead and buy. Because, you know, I live in Texas and we like Tahoes, right, Chanel? We like big trucks, okay? So when you go ahead and you paint that picture, he'll say, oh, baby, you're right. Listen, his stomach is going to be full. He's going to be happy because you're thinking about the family. And he's going to fall in love with the vision that you're painting for him. It's about having a conversation. Ladies, we just got to go ahead and do it. We got to do it.
I love what Rita said. And Rita also is going to be a presenter on the Money Masterclass. So Rita said, you know, money is the business part of the relationship. Handle it like business. I love that. Just come to the table and say, now some of y'all ain't gonna make it too far with them negligees. Now, if you know your man can't focus, don't come up in there naked. It's not gonna work. It's not. Y'all gonna have a whole different conversation. You still gonna be mad because you ain't get to say what you need to say. You know your man. Don't put that on if you're trying to have a conversation and he can't focus. That's all. That's the only free advice y'all gonna get tonight. So listen, I definitely want to go to Aisha, but before I do, I want to say this. If you have not signed up for this Money Masterclass, what are you waiting for? What are you waiting for? It is free. Free for you. Why would you not sign up? If you want to be a part of this organization, y'all, it's $27 a month. That is you skipping Starbucks a few days each week so that you can afford all of this knowledge, the resources. You'll have access to the Wealthy Sisters Network portal, where you'll have blogs and articles and checklists and worksheets and, you know, templates that you can use to get you over the hump of where you are. Listen, you can't stay where you are. Just this information that we've given you alone tonight won't allow you to remain comfortable in your lack. You shouldn't be comfortable. You should be trying every day to figure out how to get out of this situation. We will have a platform of over 10 women to help you get where you need to be in any area of your finances. What are you waiting for? If you know that you haven't filed your taxes since 2010, you need to be in this class. Come on now. If you owe the IRS money, you need to be in this class. If your credit score is 200, you need to be in this class, and you need 2 of these credit people to help you. 2, at least 2. Come on. If you want to buy a house and you don't know how, you need to be in this class. You sick and tired of your job. You don't know how you're going to quit because you can't save money. Come on. There is no situation that will not be addressed during this class. So what are you doing? Are you in denial? Denial does not help anyone. It hurts you. We have to be real about this. You need to go to bit.ly/Money Masterclass 17. Sign up for the free class. If you want to join Wealthy Sisters Network, you need to go to bit.ly, join WSNI today. You need to do that. And let me talk to the other women out there. Those of you that are working in a field that you know you're the expert. Maybe you're a real estate investor. Maybe you're a health and wellness coach. Maybe you help women to get out of domestic violence. Whatever it is that you do, you need to bring that knowledge on over to Wealthy Sisters Network. We'd love for you to be a presenter. We'll make room for you on this platform because it's all about helping our sisters. Wealthy Sisters Network is about sisterhood. Why wouldn't you want to be a part of it? If you want to be a presenter, go to bit.ly/WSN presenter. It's that simple. Come on. Don't take all this knowledge, and keep it to yourself. Share. All right. Come on, Aisha. Tell us what you think about this whole thing about once you're in a situation and how do you see yourselves out of it? What help can they get?
I would say live the lifestyle that you want to see in the other person. So basically, being that example, don't fuss, don't fight, be careful how you, be careful how you approach it. But you can't make nobody do anything that they don't want to do. People don't like to be bossed around, even though us ladies, we like to be the boss and all that good stuff, but people don't like to be bossed around and people don't like to be told what to do. So from my experience, live the lifestyle. Either they're going to get with the program or they're going to get gone. So we hope that they get with the program. It just is what it is. Either they're going to get with the program or they're going to get gone. So just continue to live the lifestyle. And when you continue to live the lifestyle, you will see a change happen in them. We as ladies, we like to take up on the road to change men or to change people because that's just our nature. But again, they look at it as you're bossing me around. I'm a grown woman. I'm a grown man. Well, we all know this, but I'm just trying to lead you in a place where it's healthy. They might not know that it's healthy yet, but eventually they will. So again, continue to live that lifestyle, that healthy lifestyle, and eventually you're going to see them become just as healthy as you are.
I love that whole perspective of a healthy lifestyle is not just about eating. It's about your money, it's about your wealth, it's about your mindset. It's the total package. So I can't wait to sit in your session next week. I'm super excited. Those of you that have watched us tonight, that you've been joining us every night, thank you so much. Your commitment to joining us and being supportive, it's commendable. Some of you I know that have been coming every time we've been on, you haven't signed up. I'm not going to shame you and call your names out, but I need y'all to go and sign up. Don't wait. Go do it now. Once the slots are filled, they're filled. So please go to bit.ly/Money Masterclass 17. What I want to do to wrap up tonight, guys, I want each one of you to tell the ladies why they should be here next week. Why should they attend the Money Masterclass? Let's start with you, Adon.
Well, ladies, I'm a firm believer in investing in yourself. That would be my number one reason as to why you should join the class. It's nothing short of being educated. And I always tell people, if you take the time to invest in yourself, you will be surprised how much you will personally grow. I talk to a lot of women a lot of times, and Chanel, let's just be honest. We're not going back to those principles of even getting ourselves educated. We always say, oh, I know how to do it. I know how to do it. And in reality, we don't know how to do everything, ladies. It's not even meant for us to know how to do everything. And this is the time where you have the opportunity to go ahead and say, that's all right. I don't have to come to this event knowing it all. All I have to do is have an open mind, be willing to invest in myself, and get the knowledge. The number 2 thing that I would say is that when you're with people that are focused, driven, and like-minded, you are more apt to succeed and transform. So ladies, it's about investing yourself so you can get to that position, you can get to that moment in your life where you're able to transform and become all that you were meant to be.
Yeah, I love that. To become all that you were meant to be. Every one of us was designed with purpose in mind. There is not a person on this earth that was created that wasn't created for a specific reason. A lot of us don't understand that our sisters have something that we need. If it's not a word of encouragement, it's a word of knowledge. If it's sometimes it's just support. It's important for us to start to unite together, have real conversations as sisters, and then find out, how can I bless you? What can I do to bless you? How can the fruit of my experience bless your life? That's what this is all about. Aisha, tell the ladies why they should be here for the masterclass next week.
I firmly believe that you should be here next week because I just had it. It was on the tip of my tongue. You're going to get so many nuggets. I mean, golden, titanium nuggets in this money masterclass. And some of y'all have been, praying and asking for wisdom and asking, for answers, how can I do this with my money? How can I do that with my money? About your money issues or hardship. And so I really believe by you signing up for this free 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 money masterclass is that not only will you get the nuggets, but your prayer is about to be answered with multiple answers, not just one answer, but multiple answers. So this is why you should sign up for the money masterclass.
That is so true. Some of y'all praying, like my grandma said, you travail and you wallowing all in the floor because you don't know how you're going to ever be able to afford a home. You don't know how much longer you can go to the car lot and sit for 8 hours. You sitting for 8 hours because your credit isn't good. If you had great credit, you'd be in and out of there in 6 minutes, 10 minutes tops. So you just don't know how you're going to make it. You don't know who's going to help you. And you don't even know what's on your report, but you're praying for God to help you. And you won't take the first step to seek help. Some of you won't even admit that you need it, not publicly. Listen, time is out for praying for God to deliver you and you won't do your part. When we teach our children how to ride a bike, we put them on the bike, we position them in the best position for them to learn, and then they got to pedal. So if God has positioned you, he's given you a vehicle for you to get the knowledge. He's positioned you. You don't have to pay for it. All you got to do is pedal. You got to sign up. Y'all, faith without works is dead. You can have faith and have faith and have faith, but if you don't ever do anything, come on. That's just like sitting here saying, I'm hungry. You got a refrigerator full of food, but you won't get up and go get it. Oh my gosh, come on, we got to do better. Jacqueline, tell these ladies why they need to be here next week.
Well, you need to be here next week because if you've sat with us through any of these promotional events over the last several days, this is only the tip of the iceberg. This is only a few of the phenomenal professionals that we have to bring before you over the course of the 4 days from September 27th through 30th. So if you've missed any of these promotional events, you do not want to miss the main event, Money Masterclass, September 27th through 30th. It will bless your life. I kid you not. Like I said, this is only a few of the professionals that we have for you. We've got a whole stable of folks waiting in the wings, ready and prepared to bring you their awesome greatness.
So listen, y'all, I want to be very clear. We didn't go out on the street and drag women in and say, come on, this is what you're going to talk about. These women are professionals. This is what they do. This is their business. They are experts in their field. So we have not only provided a platform for you to come and learn, we provided the best for you. The professionals that are dominating in their field. Come on, y'all, what else can we do? You need to sign up. You need to go to bit.ly/Money Masterclass 17 and sign up. There's nothing more that we can do. The best of the best will be here. The best of the best that the fields have to offer. They are sowing their time into your future. Because that's what it rounds up to be. They want to give back. They believe in sisterhood. They're dedicated to your future, to you living a better life, and not just for you, because it would be selfish for you to think that this is all about you. It's not. It's about your babies. It's about your daughters, your sons, your grandchildren. What position do you want to leave them in? What do you have? What's in your hand that you can leave them now? If the answer is nothing, you need to be here. Okay, so click that link, go sign up, and be here for this class. Now we've got another round of promotions that we're going to be doing on Saturday at the same time, 7 o'clock Central Standard Time. We'll have another panel of awesome presenters that'll be here to talk a little bit about sisterhood and about what they're going to be doing during the masterclass. And we're going to talk about the law of reciprocity and gratitude on Saturday. So you don't want to miss that. And also on Monday is kickoff. We're going to be ready to get this thing rolling because Wednesday through Wednesday through Friday, y'all?
Saturday.
Wednesday through Friday?
Saturday.
Oh, Saturday.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So look, y'all need to be here. We're going to be ready to roll after that. So I need you to sign up, snag your seats now, bit.ly/Money Masterclass 17. If you want to be a presenter, bit.ly/WSN presenter. Share your gifts and talents with the world. There's a sister out here that will die without what you have to offer. That's just the truth. We're dying out here for lack of knowledge. If you want to be a part of Wealthy Sistas Network, you can go to bit.ly/join WSNI today. Y'all, thank you so much. Don't forget to share the video. If you have people that you know that need what we've been talking about, go ahead and invite them to come in and sit in with you on Saturday. You know, we'll be happy to have you guys. Have a great night. We love you.
We go, hate to cut you off, Chanel, but before we go, please join me in wishing Chanel a happy birthday this Friday. We won't be before you until Saturday, but Chanel's birthday is on Friday, and we want to thank our host extraordinaire, Chanel Blackmore. Wish her a happy birthday. Happy birthday, Chanel.
Thank you so much. I'm turning 21.
Happy birthday, Chanel.
For the 8th time. No, I'm just kidding. Thank you guys so much. I appreciate it. Thanks, Jacqueline. All right, guys, be here Saturday. We'll be here again waiting on you. Have a good night. Bye-bye.